In this question, they are asking us to match an equation with a graph. So here I've got 6 equations, or graphs. Here I've got 6 equations. I got to match. First thing I would do is when I take a look at the equations, I see that these two here are the simple ones. Like this one I could rewrite as x squared plus y squared is equal to 20. But they're the simple equations. There's no x term or y term like these ones have. And so these two here, if they're the simple ones, they must be centered on the origin. So that would be one that's centered on the origin. This would be one that's centered on the origin. Now the last thing I have to figure out about those two is what their radius is. This one here, I know the general equation for one centered on the origin is this. So in this one, r squared is 5, so the radius would be equal to 2 point something. This one, the radius would be equal to 4 point something, because the square root of 20 would be 4 point something. So number 2 looks like this one here is the one that has a radius just over 4. So f and number 2, they go together. That means this one must be the other one. So this must be number 1. Okay, so 1 and 2 are done. So now I've got to go to the next ones. All of them are written in a format that I guess I don't like too much. So what I need to do is I need to convert them. Let's take a look at number 3. 3 is x squared plus y squared, but let's get the x's together, and then let's get the y's together. Plus 2y equals 6. And now let's complete the square for the x's and for the y's. So this one would be x squared, this one would be x squared minus 6x plus 9, and this one would be y squared plus 2y plus 1. So remember, to get these numbers here, you take this one and divide it by 2, then square it. This one you divide it by 2 and square it. Gives you that. Equals 6. But then since I added a 9 here, I have to add a 9 over there. Since I added a 1 here, I got to add a 1 over there. So this one winds up to be an x minus 3 squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to 16. Now, you remember where I get this 3? Whatever this number is divided by 2, that's the number you get there. So before you square it to get the 9, this divided by 2, that's the number that goes here. Or I could just look at that and factor it as a perfect square. Same thing there. That divided by 2, that gives me the number. So in this circle here, the center point would be the point 3 and minus 1, and it would have a radius of 4. So I need to find one that has, here we go, 3 minus 1, a center, that's about right, and radius of 4, so from here out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it looks like it's this one. So number 3 is D. Okay, not bad so far. Let's take a look at some of the other ones. Let's look at number 4. We'll do the same thing with 4. Or let's do 5, because 5 looks like a little bit nastier. X squared minus 5x plus y squared plus 3y equals 0. Is that right? Minus 5x y squared. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so now I have to divide this by 2. 5 divided 2 is 2.5. Squared would be 6.25, I think. Plus y squared plus 3y. And then 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. Squared is 2.25. Equals, I need to add those two to this side. That would be 8.5 on that side. So I'd have x minus 2.5 squared plus y plus 1.5 squared. Remember, I get this number from dividing this one by 2, equals 8.5. So the center of this one will be at 2.5 and down 1.5. And the radius will be whatever the square root of 8.5 is. So it's just a shade below not or 3. Might be, 2.8, 2.9, somewhere in there. Okay, let's look, see if we can find that. So 2.5 and down 1.5. Here we go, 2.5 down 1.5. That looks to be about the center there. And the radius is almost 3, so it's 1, 2, almost 3. Yep, that's it right there. That one. So A is number 5. So now all you have to do is do the last two. If I was a betting man, this one has bigger numbers in it. I'd bet this one was, because if you divide this by 2 and square it, you have to add that to the other side. It's probably going to be a larger number. I'd be betting this one is C and number 6 is E. But you can do the same thing as what I showed you right here. This was number 5. The same thing that I showed you right here to figure out what the center is and to figure out what the radius is of each of those circles. Once you've done that, then you can determine which one you have over there. Alright, hopefully that helps.